Now, as I mentioned earlier, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Japan to attend the state funeral of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. And on the sidelines of his visit, Prime Minister Modi held bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida. Now, for more on this, we're being joined by our correspondent Richard Kimber from Tokyo. Richard, thank you so much for joining us. A rare state funeral for former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. What can you tell us about the proceedings for the day and people who will be in attendance?
That's right. Well, the proceedings have been underway here for around 45 minutes. They're expected to continue for another 45 minutes. Many world leaders, including, of course, Narendra Modi, have come to take part in this event. This has drawn crowds of thousands here just to come and witness what is a historic occasion in Hong Kong. It's very rare, I beg your pardon, in Tokyo. It's very rare for global leaders to come to Tokyo to see a state funeral for a Japanese politician. The current Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is also meeting with all of the leaders who are coming to Tokyo today to try and strengthen his relations, not just with those countries on a bilateral basis, but to try and strengthen regional stability. And India plays a key role in that relationship, as it is, of course, a key member of the Quad. Prime Minister Kishida says that this funeral that's taking place behind me is a key opportunity also for global leaders to come together and demonstrate that democracy can overcome acts of terrorism, as he is framing the shooting of Shinzo Abe back in July.
Right, absolutely, Richard. Also, of course, I was going to come to this. Prime Minister Modi has held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on the sidelines. The two have discussed deepening bilateral ties as well. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Prime Minister Modi has spoken publicly, both on his social media and in interviews, about how strong his relationship with Shinzo Abe was. It really formed a crux of what was for Japan a means of trying to broaden its political ties beyond its own borders. This was a key policy of Shinzo Abe, is to try and increase Japan's clout on the international stage. And that extended, of course, to the US under former President Trump and to the United Kingdom. This, though, did rile many people in Japan. They saw this as an attempt not just to try and improve Japan's international standing, but also to increase its involvement in international military strategic affairs and pursue a brand of Japanese conservatism and nationalism that many people here in the country did not really believe in. And that's the big cause of concern with regards to this funeral. There have been protests taking place down the road as the funeral began from people who say this funeral was unjust. The idea of it is illegitimate. They say the cost of it is unacceptable, and principally they're concerned about what this represents in terms of Japan going forward if politicians such as Shinzo Abe are, in their words, lionized by these types of events.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.